See what it feels like going up this part of the hill. Let's drop it down a bit. Let's feel that torque. I mean, Jesus, this thing is quick and it's got so much power. Oh man, this is a bike. I mean, Indian really did their homework on this. And welcome back, guys. We are at Indian Motorcycle in Redhill. It's been 4 weeks, a long time since I've done a bit of a review, but we are back today. Finally, it's overdue. It's day 2 of the Indian FTRs that have just dropped in the UK. So we've got the demo version today. And without further ado, let's get cracking. I must admit, on first impressions, this thing just looks completely badass. A proper tracker. So as always with the review, let's get into the specs and you guys can see what this bike is all about. Very good specs indeed. So next part of the test, let's get on with the sound test. Just bear in mind this is a stock exhaust system, so don't expect too much. Okay, so time to get on this beautiful machine. It feels like so many months since I've been waiting for this bike to come into the UK. First impressions is that in terms of the height, this is tall. So I'm going to give you guys a side angle view of me getting onto this bike in a non-angelic way, so forgive me for that. But as you can see, I'm 5'9" and I'm on tippy toes when I'm on this bike. But I must admit, in terms of that riding position, I'm upright, tracker bar style, and you can tell this thing is going to maneuver very well indeed. Okay, so starting up this bike, it is key control. Bing bong bing. So the controls themselves are very similar to the Scout Bobber. On the left hand side then, you've got your main beam and headlights. You've got cruise control, nice little feature there. Your self-cancelling indicators, your horn. So on the right hand side then you've got engine stop and then start, and then just above here you've got your cycle button. So in front of you, you can see that you've got miles, trip 1, RPM, temperature. There you go. So without further ado, let's start this off. Oh, just noticed here, guys, you've also got your USB plug-in. Very nice. Oh, so in terms of those controls, clearly not forwards. And I won't see the mids either, they're slightly behind, but let's go. Oh, nice. So first impressions, you can definitely feel it's got a bit of poke about it. I'm just trying to get used to that riding position, bearing in mind that I've been used to that forward style control on my other cruisers, and I think we can all guess that brand. Okay, going left here. Nice. Whoa! This thing. Gotta remember, this is 120 brake horsepower. So, yeah, it's gonna really kick out a bit of power. And I got new tyres on here. Just getting used to it. Oh, I'm enjoying this quite a bit. One of the things that I'm really surprised with is this riding style. Although I thought when my feet are positioned it would be, relatively uncomfortable, at the moment it actually feels alright. I remember when I first saw this, I thought, oh my gosh, Harley are going to be in trouble here with their street rods and converting those into trackers. I was thinking, if you've obviously got the money to spend on this, what would you buy? An FTR 1200, or would you get a street rod fully customized up? And the first thing that came to mind is just, apart from looks and the Brembos and all that stuff. It's actually the power, 120 brake horsepower in this thing. It's incredible. One of the things I'm noticing definitely straight away are those brakes. I'm not used to Brembos, don't really have that luxury with, well, let's just say the brand of bike that I ride. I'm just thinking constantly about the value for money that you get in this bike. 11,899 quid, and don't get me wrong, that, you know, is a lot of money. I'm not trying to say it's not, but 120 brake horsepower engine, Brembos all round, decent suspension, nice, good looking bike. Man, this has got to be a good buy, surely. What I'm also enjoying about this bike is that, and you know, don't get me wrong, the roads are relatively decent round here, but in terms of the ride, there is no bumps or sharp shocks. It's just a really good ride in general, and I'm just really enjoying myself on it. It just feels so modern. It feels like I've got up-to-date technology, up-to-date suspension, and an up-to-date engine. I mean, what more could you ask for? Let's do a bit of a rolling start here in second gear, 25 miles an hour. Let's just open it up, just see how quick it is. Oh my gosh. That's quick. Got to be careful with the speed limit around here, but that was good. And what I'm enjoying as well is that riding style. I'm really up on the bike. I can really lean in and squeeze it round, no problems at all. That's a great design. Let's go right here. Oh, and those brakes keeping me keeping me safe, hopefully. Woo, bit of wheelie. Whilst my brain is getting really scatty, just enjoying this bike, I was just thinking about the seat. Now the seat is pretty tough. It's not hurting me at the moment, which is good because I'm only 20 minutes in, but I definitely think it's one of those seats that you're going to have a little bit of problems with if you're going to be doing long distances. But what I do like about it, it's got a nice little lip at the back, so when you do ping it back, that throttle, you're firmly tucked in, you ain't going anywhere. My god, this thing just loves to get up. So I'm just trying to think who would buy this type of ride, and the first thing I've got to think of is that you've got so many new optional things you can do to this bike. One of the things I personally like is the touring pack, which I must admit I am very interested in, because actually the positioning of this bike, I thought my legs were going to start really aching, because I much prefer a forward position, actually much more than a mid, but this I'm surprised at. So going back to the type of person that I think would buy this bike, I think you've got lots of different variations why, and it's easy for me to say this could be the bike that you could scoot around on, you know, really blip it hard and go for that tracker mode, but actually I think this thing's got a lot more variation to it. I did actually think where my arms are positioned at the moment as well, I'd have perhaps a bit more pain in my wrists, just in terms of the positioning where the weight is based. But actually, I've been really surprised. It's fit for purpose for a start, so it suits the handling of the bike, and secondly, from a comfort position, it's been actually okay. See what it feels like going up this part of the hill? Let's drop it down a bit, let's feel that torque. I mean, Jesus, this thing is quick and it's got so much power. Oh man, this is a bike. I mean, Indian really did their homework on this. There's that point in reviews where I think, what is wrong with this bike? What could I say that I don't like? And I'll be honest with you guys, I could say that I prefer cruisers, which I absolutely do, but when it comes to Indian and what they've designed here, sweet as a nut. Well done. So there we go guys, that is my very quick first ride impression on the FTR 1200. Overall, absolutely loved it. What a bike indeed. Loved the power, loved the handling, Love the suspension. The seat is going to be a bit of a hard ride on it, but I just love the variation that this bike brings. As I mentioned earlier, you can go from the sport pack to the touring pack. And of course, let's not forget, this is the little brother. You've got the big brother, the FTR 1200S, and I bet that's a lot of fun to ride as well. As always, make sure you just get out and get on a demo. Let me know what you think of it. Have you bought one yourself? Drop it in the comments below. It's going to help other people. Let them know what you think about your FTR 1200. But without further ado, guys, I'm going to enjoy the rest of this day. I'm going to spend another hour on this FTR, and I might just bring it home. All the best, guys. See you on the flip side. Motonewbrider. Aside from my soul.